changes have been made to the recent Sanctum of the Guardian content updates as we roll out a Sanctum patch week. But that's not all. A couple of other announcements. The arrival of your favorite mining and smithing fanatics can be spotted around Gielinor telling you about a mining and smithing update. That means that the content update for mining and smithing that's going to bring it up to 110 and bring primal ore to the surface is right around the corner. In fact, more news will come out later this week. And get your pickaxes ready for when it launches on August 12th. That said, Double XP is currently active and will end on Monday, August 12th, when this launches at 12 p.m. game time. Plenty of time for you to get the extra combat training in, or honing your artisans, or gathering like mining ahead of time for this content release and the upcoming skilling boss release, which I talked about in a previous video. Go ahead and check it out there. Anyways, moving on. A RuneScape Ahead is right around the corner. This is going to showcase the content roadmap up until mid-2025. This will be a YouTube video, so don't miss it on the RuneScape YouTube channel, premiering August 15th at 17 BST. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video so far, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet, you'd like to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you. That's it. We're now going to shift on over to the patch notes and see what's been updated with today's update, so let's go ahead and check it out. Starting off with the Sanctum of Rebirth. They fixed an issue that prevented players from reclaiming the potion of zombification during the soul searching quest if the player had spoken to the suspicious stranger but had not yet boarded the gondola. Divine Rage skill guide entry is not listed within the curses section anymore. Fixed an issue where Kezalam's line attack didn't apply an attack delay, resulting in animation being cut short. Fixed an issue that prevented Nakatra Devour Internal from being correctly set as a hard mode Reaper kill if the boss was killed in hard mode. The boss will now correctly award the following for a hard mode Reaper kill: 30k Slayer, 25 Reaper points at the base level. This may be increased with boons and unlocks. Fixed an issue where the volatile Scarab Ak didn't spawn correctly when fighting against Nakatra with 4 players. The Scripture of Maskat will now consistently deal the correct number of hits in PvP combat. Fixed an issue where bars above the Sanctum of Rebirth bosses overlap during the fight. Fixed an issue where using defensive abilities such as Resonance would incorrectly display a miss or shield hit marker instead of 1 damage. Updated Kezalam within the Sanctum of Rebirth to now phase at 33.3333% life points instead of 33. Due to feedback, this means that she'll now phase at 400k and 200k life points rather than the previous 396 and 198k. Fixed an issue where the Shadow Sands Gorilla Ox within the Sanctum of Rebirth would move unintentionally. The Scripture of a Masket dot now uses the correct combat style damage. Fixed an issue where some dots couldn't be removed with numbing roots. Added UI pop-ups to the Sanctum of Rebirth in order to give players information about the death mechanic within normal mode. Implemented a UI pop-up for Divine Protection for when the buff is applied. These will appear the first time a player begins an encounter. Implemented a UI pop-up for Resurrection Sickness for when the debuff is applied. This will appear the first time a player begins an encounter. Implied a one-off message that will appear the first time a player interacts with the Sanctum entrance, noting that deaths are safe in normal mode. The following actions now have improved targeting behavior. Dive will only allow you to target the ground. Intercept will only allow you to target other players. Herblore bombs only allow you to target NPCs and the ground, and other players if in PvP. This is a short-term improvement to mitigate against targeting unintended entities while they investigate a more global solution. Fixed instances of waver being spelled as waver without the I in the soul searching quest. Removed a double the from a sentence in a soul search quest. Fixed an issue with the 9x9 6x6 safe area telegraph visual used for the Sanctum shockwave attack within the Nakatra encounter in the Sanctum of Rebirth. Fixed an issue where the difficulty displayed on the boss health bar was incorrect after dying and re-entering the instance while fighting against Nakatra in a group. Fixed an issue where the Moonstone shards within the Sanctum of Rebirth would retaliate when attacked. Improved the cleanup time for Moonstone shards within the Sanctum of Rebirth to allow for much smoother movement when traversing the environments. Following feedback, they implemented the following changes to the Vermyx boss encounter within the Sanctum of Rebirth. When spawning Coil Spawn as part of the boss rotation in hard mode, it now only spawns 2. This occurs at the end of Vermyx's ability rotation. In phasing, hard mode will still begin with 4 Coil Spawn, amended the target marker that appears during phasing, removed one of the Coil Spawn that spawned during phase transition. The channel's power from the Sanctum towards the west/east message is only shown once per phase. Amended the above messaging to be more specific. During phase transition, the northwest and northeast Coil Spawn are only spawned once. So if you manage to kill it, this will give you a bit of a safe space to work with. If you kill the Coil Spawn in the above location, the souls will spawn after on the next rotation. Depending on when you kill it, this might not occur until the next rotation. Souls spawn 1.2 seconds earlier in hard mode. For the soul bomb, bomb attacks the area below the player's feet instead of following the player, and deals AoE damage at a 3x3. Telegraphing has been added to indicate the area of effect. Moving on to some general changes, they fixed an issue with the overriding of the Ishara pet. Fixed an instance where Karamja music would play in Urjolf's cave. Nomad's bounty rewards will no longer be discarded if the player closes the reward chest without having any inventory and or bank space left. Instead, they will be warned that the rewards will be lost on logout if they have no space for them. Fixed a typo in the examine text for the Powder of Penance. And lastly, fixed an issue causing Lupe's free daily supplies being sent to the inventory instead of the bank when the focus storage is full. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. If you missed last video covering the upcoming skilling boss, I highly recommend you go ahead and check it out, and it'll be on screen now for you to go and click. So I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you with the next RuneScape coverage video. Till then, I am out. Aloha.